Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Fantasy Points Final Points Turkey Day live stream here at fantasypoints.com. My name is Joe Dolan. I'm with Mr. Graham Barfield and Mr. Wes Huber, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of him. We'll have an announcement to make here, I would think, in a few weeks here, but you're going to be seeing a lot more of him at fantasypoints.com. I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I understand that there's been kind of a damper put on this day with the cancellation or the postponement, rather, of Baltimore and Pittsburgh, and it's kind of made the DFS slate kind of shitty and boring, but hey, it's still Thanksgiving. There's still football today. I hope everybody's staying safe above all. I hope everybody's going to enjoy some food, whether you're by yourself, whether you have family, close friends, whatever. I hope everybody's going to have a good day. I want to welcome in my co-hosts here with Graham and Wes. Wes, I want to start with you. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. What's on the menu today?
Not as much football as I was hoping.
No, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully there's still some food on the menu that you're going to be enjoying. Graham, what are you doing today, my friend?
So obviously the family's like all the way across the country. Ashley is going to visit our friends up north, so I'm at home flying solo and making some tacos today. So
what kind of tacos?
I just got some beef I'm on thawing right now. I'm gonna get some spices in there, a little seasoned salt, make a little hard shell and soft shell.
The hard shell taco, which my old lady loves, but Edwin Porras, who is Mexican, he is against the hard shell taco. He is not in the lexicon.
I go for both. I like the soft shell more, but yeah.
You're a Taco Bell guy, aren't you?
Oh yeah, baby.
I haven't. Oh man, yeah. It's been a long time for me. 8 years since I've had Taco Bell.
Sounds like you had a bad experience.
No, like it's just one of those things like I just haven't had in a while, and you try to avoid the fast food because everybody likes fast food. Anybody who's like, oh, that stuff is so gross. No, you love it. You love it.
I avoid McDonald's at all costs.
Really?
I avoid McDonald's too. That's one of my only ones I really avoid.
Oh, but, look, I have some co-hosts.
Hey, look at that.
These are this is Butterscotch right here on the couch. That's Crimpet. Hi baby. What's up? They're co-hosting with me today. I must not have shut my door all the way, but they love my office couch. So guys, it's wonderful to be with you guys here on Thanksgiving morning. Graham, it's early out there. Wes, you're in Ohio. I'm in South Carolina.
Kentucky, but close enough.
Well, you're in Kentucky.
Kentucky, Lexington.
Oh, is that right across the border?
Yeah. What's that?
Is that right across the border? I know.
Yeah, I'm a little over an hour from Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. So Lexington, are you a bourbon drinker, Wes?
I love bourbon.
Okay, so you've done the bourbon trail. That's a dream of mine.
I used to party out at Jim Beam Trails, so.
So that is a dream of mine. That's a dream vacation. By the way, I shattered a bottle of bourbon all over my kitchen yesterday. So I decided, when I'm home, I collect. Oh, there they go. There they go. Goodbye, Scotchy and Crimpet. When I go, I decided I went to the liquor store yesterday. I'm like, I'm gonna get myself a good bottle of bourbon. Like, the local liquor stores down here sell like the Four Roses handle for $29. So like that's kind of my go-to. It's a great that's the best thing about bourbon. Good
Four
bourbon
Roses is the go-to.
Good bourbon is cheap. Like shit, Evan Williams is good. And it's $20 for a handle. But I was like, you know what? It's Thanksgiving. I'm gonna buy myself a nice bourbon. I don't even remember what it was called. It was like something that I had never had before. And it had a 96, guys. It had a 9. I don't know where it had a 96, but it had a 96. So I'm like, it has a 96. It's got to be good. So, but it was a $50 bottle, and I brought it home, and I sat it on my counter, and the bag just fell over. And then you see the plastic bag that it was in just fill up with bourbon, and I'm like, no.
Well, Joe, to make up for it, we'll do a staff trip to the Bourbon Trail, and we'll go visit our guy Wes.
That would be wonderful. I'd enjoy that. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving to you guys. I hope everybody's having a good time. We are going to get to all of your questions. We don't have. This is I mean, a fraction of our Sunday audience. And, I kind of anticipated it, guys. Like, it's a holiday, but also the best game on the entire damn slate got postponed. Like, I mean, Wes, you were lamenting that. Like, you are the biggest football junkie on staff. And I mean, we're a football, but like, Graham, do you think Wes is the biggest, like, junkie for football on staff?
Oh yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close at this point. Yeah,
because like I think Thanksgiving is the time of year every year where I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of sick of football. But I don't think Wes is. Wes is like, God damn it! Like we like what? Wes, do you get sick of football?
I did when I worked at PFF, data collection nonstop, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
After, 6 months of it, you're sick of football.
Yeah.
But fantasy, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm going to get sick of it these days.
Yeah, well, I'm glad for it because we got big plans for the future here. And I'm excited just for next year because, like, I mean, you can never assume anything these days, but like for months after we launched this business, we were like, is there going to be a season? We got a plan for a season, but we're not sure there's going to be a season. And, I mean, barring something really crazy, I know there's going to be a 2021 NFL season. And the fact that the NFL is still in week 12 this year, I can't imagine what it would take to cancel 2021 season.
Yeah, we made it, man. They've just completely they're just shooting from the hip at this point with these reschedules. They're just like, they're just going for it.
It's amazingly cynical. But like, I think we've all managed to compartmentalize that. Yeah, well, yeah, of course the NFL's playing. Everybody's here at Thanksgiving and everybody's like this, if you want to, gather for, and believe me, I'm not gathering for Thanksgiving. It's just me and my wife and my dogs. But Graham, you're alone. Wes, you said you're just walking your in-laws briefly. I mean, it's not like we're all doing crazy shit here, but I got a couple of things going. I started my mac and cheese last night and I posted a picture. I'm putting it in the oven today, but guys, I did it. I love putting like all kinds of different cheeses in my mac and cheese, and I love sharp cheese. Like I want cheese to hurt when I eat it, like that kind of cheese. But it doesn't necessarily translate to mac and cheese all that well because you want that creaminess and that gooiness. So you want to get some lighter cheeses in there. So last time I made mac and cheese, it was really good, but it had too much of a bite and not enough creaminess. So I'm looking around and I'm like, what am I going to do? I threw 6 ounces of cream cheese into my sauce. And last night I almost ate, I was like, oh God, this is amazing. I can't wait to do it. I'm making a turkey chili. Anyway, guys, let's get to the questions. Let's talk football here. We got a couple of matchups and we'll start with the Detroit Lions and Houston. And Detroit is down basically everybody they were down last week. No DeAndre Swift, no Kenny Galladay, no Danny Amendola. On defense, no Jeff Okudah. The Detroit is just massacred. To borrow a line from Arlo Guthrie and Alice's restaurant, Detroit is massacred right now. And Wes, you had some thoughts. I mean, you would think Marvin Jones is the preeminent passing game target right now, but because of the presence of Bradley Roby, I'm wondering if TJ Hawkinson is going to be the guy just gets fed with targets in this game. Yeah,
it's definitely going to be Hawkinson that's going to lead in target share. Bradley Roby, no doubt, will cover Marvin Jones Jr. and it's man coverage, so we're unlikely to see much from Cephas either. He's more of a zone guy, so yeah, it's got to be Hawkinson and maybe some Marvin Hall. That's about all. Yeah, I would be surprised if they scored points.
Yeah, they're gonna struggle today. They played Jamal Agnew out of the slot last week, right, Wes?
That's just, I mean, you're just at the rock bottom at that point.
Oh, and by the way, Matthew Stafford's not 100%. He's got a hand injury. So I
wonder if he's not been 100% all year, Joe. He's not been right.
Well, I also think they're just a very badly coached team.
With that offensive line, I'm not surprised I'm shocked that he's not on IR at this point.
Yeah. And like, here's the thing, I think there's very few quarterbacks in the NFL that can truly overcome truly bad coaching, and like, I guess you would say Patrick Mahomes is one, but Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a bad coach. So we don't, I guess people would argue Russell Wilson's been one of those guys, but I know the nerds hate Pete Carroll, but the guy's won a shit ton of games. I mean, there's still something that's working there. And as good as Stafford has been and as talented as he is, I wonder if there is a single quarterback in NFL history who has been as massacred by bad coaching as he has. I mean, it's just constant. And Unfortunately, I think that's kind of what's going on here.
Well, Joe, I mean, he's carried them through. I mean, how many game-winning drives have we seen from Stafford in recent years in the fourth quarter? Where I mean, it's basically like Russell Wilson reincarnate from the last couple of years, where he's
without
carrying them back. Yeah, exactly. Where he's carrying them back into games because Darrell Bevell and Matt Patricia are just.
This is like their dream, by the way, Darrell Bevell and Matt Patricia. They don't have explosion in the backfield, so they can't play without DeAndre Swift. They don't have their best receiver, so they get to jam it with Peterson and Kerryon Johnson. This is like their dream. That shutout was like Matt Patricia probably won. He got in the office at 4:30 in the morning on Monday to rewatch that because that was football porn to him. Yeah, we didn't score. Yeah. That's what I love. For Houston, they're pretty healthy actually. The only question I have is like everybody is like at this point, fuck it, like fuck you, Duke Johnson, I'm done. And then you get this matchup with Detroit, who has given up the most PPR fantasy points per game to running backs. And
well, you say they're healthy, but we do want to throw out that Randall Cobb just got put on IR.
Yeah, Randall Cobb.
Kenny Stills is injured, and of course David Johnson's on IR.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a loss David Johnson is, but they can't run the ball.
They can't run the ball
with
regardless.
him or without him.
They can't run the ball regardless.
Yeah, Cobb, you're right. Cobb is kind of a big loss, and here's the thing: Detroit has given up 103 receptions out of the slot, and this is one of the reasons I'm bummed about. Like, I'm not playing the Thanksgiving DFS slate. Because like that lack of a third game just doesn't make it it just makes it less fun for me. No. I wonder if like Kiki Kuti could have a decent role in today's.
He's supposed to start in the slot.
Yeah. I like QT a lot. I mean, Bill O'Brien gave Randall Cobb like 18 million guaranteed. I think Kiki QT is by far the better player. So he actually might get a little bump out of the slot there with QT. There. Yeah.
And like Detroit, no Okuda. So they're going down their depth chart at corner. Like, I don't know. I think Houston's going to roll in this game, quite frankly.
If you're playing DFS today, Deshaun Watson is going to be the highest owned quarterback. Like he's going to be like 70% owned, and he should be.
Yeah, this is like Taysom Hill levels.
Yeah,
ownership.
Cooks and Fuller are going to be the highest owned guys, and if you want to get a little bit off the board, I think QT is going to be by far the lowest owned Texans pass catcher.
Yeah. So
the only issue I have with the Houston stack, there's no run back option on Detroit. So, but
Bill Hawkinson.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I do think Alex Smith is going to be a good play, though. He's more of a zone quarterback, and so I wouldn't be surprised if he had a good game today, especially if the Cowboys can get something going. And Zeke Elliott looked a lot better last week, very explosive. So.
Yeah, he looked good. Like, I don't know, Jerry went on the radio and he's like, he's our best player, and then they fed him like he was. And to be fair to Zeke, he answered the bell. We've seen teams feed guys who aren't answering the bell. Well, Zeke answered the bell last week. So anyway, that game, Andy Dalton kind of gave them some life on offense. I think it was kind of what we expected when Dak went out. Like, hey, we're not going to expect that they're going to score 40 points a game, but Andy Dalton's a capable backup quarterback. But the key for Dallas was, I don't think just Andy Dalton, Zach Martin moving to right tackle. Like,
the entire
offensive line.
That's what helped Zeke. But thing about Dalton, though, he's a cover 2 quarterback. He thrives against teams that play cover 2. He's not getting that today. He's getting cover 3, cover 4. So he's going to implode today.
Okay. All right. This is the kind of stuff I like to see. This is what I like to hear. But Zach Martin, I think, has helped the run game. He helped Dalton last week. I mean, that was just a move that completely solidified this entire Dallas. And look, I'm not telling you Dallas is going to the Super Bowl, but it solidified the offense for fantasy, which is what we need. So, let's start getting to some questions. We got plenty of questions, but we're going to be able to get through all of them. Like on Sundays, it's just impossible. We get like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions. But today, I think we're going to be able to get through all of them. And we have a couple happy Thanksgiving wishes from Brandon M, Alex, and John. Happy Thanksgiving, gents. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day. Same to you guys. Wonderful being with you guys here on a Thanksgiving morning. RK, PPR, pick one of Pittman, Chark, Boyd, Slayton, or Fulgham. None of these guys play today.
You can think about this a little bit more, but my first lean is Pittman.
Yeah.
I would love to play Boyd, but man, I just don't have any confidence whatsoever in Brandon Allen.
I saw a tweet from Ian Hartitz you mean Ryan Finley? I mean, take your pick.
They're gonna play. I think they're starting Brandon Allen.
They're going to start Brandon
yeah.
Allen.
Yeah, they are. They've made that official.
Oh my God.
He's a better play than Ryan Finley. It's not even close. Finley he just doesn't have the pocket awareness behind an offensive line like that.
Well, I mean,
he's got a freaking pop gun arm too, man. He's
jumpy.
So limited. He is.
Yeah,
so
I saw Ian Hartitz tweet that of quarterbacks over the last 2 years. I think there was 59 quarterbacks over the last 2 years have 100 dropbacks. And he said he's basically 58th or 59th and basically everything from at Pro Football Focus. So yeah, they're probably making the right call there. But I mean, it's still not good.
I wouldn't count on the Bengals receivers being completely shut out, though. I bet you they have at least one quality game coming up. I would not be surprised at all.
See, I think so too, because Brandon Allen made those 3 starts last year with the Broncos, and Cortland Sutton was fine. So my hope is that T. Higgins is playing out of his mind this year. So hopefully Allen can keep Higgins afloat and, at least one of these guys afloat.
Ryan Finley. Oh my God. Well, that just goes to show you, man, you can't even get a start out of he got 10 passes and I think it was 15 dropbacks and they're like,
we've seen enough.
No, that's enough. Yeah, it's Pittman for me. Chark's dinged up. He's got the ribs. Who knows what Glenn is going to do? Although I will say this about Glennon. He said I'm going to let her rip. And I'm like, you know what? We know you stink, but I'll take that. Throw the ball, man. That's I don't care. Travis Fulgham's disappeared. And oh my God, Doug Peterson this week, we got to get Alshon involved more. As John Hansen said, he looked mummified jumping for that ball at the end of the game. I was like, dude, I mean, there is so much going wrong with Philadelphia right now.
I mean, at what point does he sit Carson Wentz just to see what Jalen can do?
You would think it's coming, but here's the other thing about the Hurts pick. There's not even a semi-realistic out on the Wentz contract until after next year.
Yeah.
So so you have an old and aging roster. You're playing Jason Peters I'm going to throw the word out again. He got massacred last week, but he's our left tackle, even though Jordan Mailata has outplayed him. What is going on?
Yeah. You think the Peters thing is just sunk cost fallacy? They're just we brought him back, we got to play him.
I don't know, but man, I can't it's. I mean, you watch the film. It's clearly not all Wentz. They're running 4 verts on every 3rd and 7 and longer. I mean, there's just it's so easy to defend and maybe they're calling these simple concepts because they've lost. Well, Wentz is clearly playing without confidence. By the way, I mean that.
Well, Joe, on that the play where he took a safety, that was a 3rd and 8 from the 4-yard line. If you look at the routes, they're all deep 15-yard downfield routes. Why are you not hitting a shallow crosser just to get out of there? Ben
Solak from Draft Network who broke it down, and he said there was a flat option on that play to Greg Ward. However, they also had Ward chip the defensive end, Vernon, which made him late to release to the flat, which didn't draw the defender down to open up the corner route, which Fulgham was running. Yeah. And then Peters, the left tackle, didn't react like he had a chip. So the chip essentially, not only was it useless because Peters didn't react like he had a chip, but it took Ward out of the route progression, meaning Wentz had nowhere to throw the ball. Now, your argument can be, well, Wentz should have gotten rid of the ball. Okay. But it just goes to show you that there's so much going on that maybe Wentz gets sacked anyway. I don't know. Maybe he sails the ball over Fulgham's head. I don't know. But when the thing about Philly, radio is if you start to say, hey, it's not all on Carson, people are like, well, why are you making excuses? No, I'm not. Nobody's saying he's playing well. No. And this goes back to Wes's point. What I'm looking at is with this coaching staff, what it's doing right now in Philadelphia, Travis Fulgham was an emerging star. And then he has 2 catches since you've put Alshon fucking Jeffrey back in the lineup. I mean, how is Jalen Hurts going to succeed in this? Oh, and by the way, if Jalen Hurts, a 2nd-round pick, if you're not starting him because he isn't ready, that's another indictment of the Jalen Hurts pick. You used a top 50 pick on a guy who, on an aging roster that needs help everywhere, he's not ready to play. Like,
Yeah.
But he's going to bring the athleticism that Wentz doesn't have, or that, not that he's not athletic, but he does. It just Hurts he's a former 5-star athlete.
yeah. He's a great athlete. Like,
yeah, I mean, he can bring things to the offense that they could actually really use right now.
The thing is like with Hurts, he's got to be Greg Cosell says this all the time. Every quarterback to a certain extent is a system quarterback. And
everybody
right now, the Eagles system is completely broken. So how the hell are they going to play Hurts and expect, I don't know. Like, I hear you that Hurts is probably the better runner. And
I mean, he's definitely a better runner.
Well,
right?
and he's got a strong arm. He doesn't have, but he's not going to be able to read coverages like a veteran. But to be honest, Wentz isn't doing a great job reading coverages.
No.
You put him up against the cover 4 or cover 6. I think he's got something like a 1 touchdown and 11 interceptions.
And but here's my question. Like, so Carson Wentz, I mean, obviously he had the 2017 season before he got hurt. Like, he was an MVP that year. He would have won the MVP if he doesn't get hurt. And like,
who's the head coach though?
Well, Peterson, but here's the other thing with
I mean, offensive coordinator. Sorry.
Oh, right, and I think the coaching is part of it. And by the way, they don't have an offensive coordinator.
Nope.
So our guy Ben Kukan is a big Eagles fan. I don't think it was Ben, but I had another Eagle. All Eagles fans text me all the time. But they're like, why doesn't Peterson give up the play calling? And I'm like, to who? They don't have an offensive coordinator.
No.
So
I do wonder though. I mean, when they went and won the Super Bowl, they had the brain trust of, Reich and all those guys. Like, I do wonder, and none of those guys have came out and had a ton of success.
Right.
I mean,
None of them are like savants.
Reich is a good coach, but like none of them, in Sirianni too, like none of them had a ton of success on their own. But like, I do wonder if that brain trust just works.
They just worked really well together. But DeFilippo rubs people the wrong way. He can't hold a job. He's the quarterback's coach. And so I think it was just a group of guys who worked really well together. But we could talk about this for hours and hours. There's organizational rot in Philadelphia, and that's what's going on. But the thing is, I'm going to get back to the point is when you look at what their offense looks like right now, you look back to what the Ravens did when they went from Joe Flacco to Lamar Jackson midseason. Do you trust this coaching staff to make that kind of change? And, when I look at Hurts, there's obviously something there. But when I look at his skill set, I'm like, all right, at best, he's a lowercase Kyler Murray because he's not as accurate. He doesn't have as good of an arm and he's not as fast. He's more powerful. He's a good athlete, but I don't know. When you said, Graham, every quarterback to an extent is a system quarterback, Jalen Hurts needs to be more of a system quarterback than Kyler Murray because he's not as talented as Kyler Murray.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if I trust this coaching staff to design that system in week 12.
Lincoln Riley's not walking through that door.
Yeah.
He took him in the second round though.
And I agree.
The season's lost. It's not that I think he's going to take the role and run with it. I'm not as much promoting him as a number 1 quarterback. I'm saying he's a second round pick. You need to see what he can do over an entire game. Some guys really step up when they get into the NFL and play a lot better than what we've seen in college.
Yeah.
He has the athletic ability. So I would like to just see what he could do. And I'm sure that there are people in Philadelphia in management that would like the same thing, if the season is lost.
Yeah. Which because you're
it's
playing
not
in the
right
NFC
now.
East, it's not, which is just anyway. Alex, half-point PPR pick 2 out of Thielen, Hunt, Fuller, Cooks, and Drake. Okay. I really
Thielen's on the COVID list, so you got to wait on that one.
So who are the other
COVID list? Thielen, Hunt, Fuller, Cooks, and Drake.
Okay.
I really want to play Fuller.
I want to play Cooks too. I want to play Cooks
but
too.
But the problem is I need to wait for Thielen.
Yeah. And 0.5 PPR, you got to think Drake's going up against that New England run defense. So he hasn't blown the world away, but that is a smash spot right
and
there.
Kareem Hunt's in a smash spot too. He's against Jacksonville.
Yep.
That's true. That's a tough choice.
So my lean here is by the way, we haven't gotten confirmation that Thielen is tested positive. I feel like we would have gotten confirmation if he had tested positive.
Yeah, I think it's a contract tracing thing. He should probably get cleared by Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, so I want to wait to play Thielen, and if that's the case, I'm probably playing Fuller over Cooks.
For me, Thielen's a easy fade. I'm not playing him against Carolina cover 3. No way. And then, it really comes down to, do we want to go with Cooks, you know, uh, in a matchup where there's a blowout and they may not pass as much, or do we want to go with the sure thing at running back in a 0.5 PPR, stick with Drake and Hunt? And that's probably what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Hunt's for sure in there. And then you're deciding between, I think I would wait for Thielen. I'm a little bit higher on him than US, but yeah, I mean, you really can't make a bad call between Fuller or Cooks.
Brandon M, is this a game where you played Gibson and McKissick together in a PPR? I need 2 out of Gio and Pirine, McKissick, Rager, Landry, Gage, and Mooney. Leaning the Cincy back and either McKissick or one of the wide receivers. I think you can play Gibson and McKissick together in a PPR because they are short underdogs. And it's simple. The Washington backfield is simple. When they are in a close game, Antonio Gibson's going to play. When they are playing from behind and they're throwing a lot, JD McKissick's going to play. Why? Because they trust McKissick more in pass protection. That's why. And you can argue with, it's not that important. Gibson didn't blow the block that got Kyle Allen's leg massacred. Yeah, you argue that. You can argue it all you want. They still play McKissick more when they need a pass protector back there. That's what they do. I think you can play the 2 together, but he needs 2 out of Gio, Pirine, McKissick, Rager, Landry, Gage, and Mooney.
Man, my lean. Jarvis Landry's just dead. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He is completely dead.
He had the second fewest targets of his entire career last week.
Well,
the only other time he had fewer was in his first game of his career.
Yeah. Oh man.
McKissick's the easy call.
McKissick for sure.
If Gio's out, has there been an update on him?
He's in the concussion protocol, and you'd think it'd probably be pretty hard for him to get out of it by Sunday.
Maybe Pirine. As long as we're not talking about Lamical, his cousin.
No, obviously it's not Michael. It's I think it would be Samaje.
Yeah. I picked up Pirine in a few spots. They're going to play. He's going to play a ton of snaps. I mean, the only other back they have is Travion Williams, and they don't play Travion Williams whatsoever.
Yeah, they don't have any faith in him.
Yeah.
This is either Al or AI. I can't really tell. If it's Allen Iverson, thank you for my childhood. Our RB options are Lindsey, Pollard, Booker, or try to pick up Pirine, Malcolm Brown, or Justice Hill. Madison, Wilkins. Oh my God. A priority order. I'm not ranking 9 guys off the waiver wire. I can tell you that. Lindsey.
So this is a skank squad question right here, Joe.
Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing with Madison. All right, if you pick up Madison off the waiver wire, you're essentially just gambling that Dalvin Cook's going to get hurt before Josh Jacobs or Zeke Elliott. That's not really something I'm willing to wager on. Of these guys on the waiver wire, I think Pirine's the best option.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I love Lindsey. I think he's a good player, but he's not getting the passing game involvement that I was hoping for. And he's going up against a nasty run defense this week.
Here's the thing. Now we've had multiple coaching staffs tell you we don't think Philip Lindsay's a good receiver.
Yep. Yeah, and the background, like his receiving stats have always been pretty bad too in terms of efficiency.
Yeah.
But my God, guys,
for outrun.
God, guys, he is so much better of a runner than Melvin Gordon.
It's just close.
Exactly. It's not even close.
But they put Gordon out there on third down. So yeah. Nicholas, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Nicholas. AI or Al? Let's go with AI just because I'd like to imagine it's Allen Iverson. If Darnold starts, is Crowder back to form? Start over Landry, PPR. I have no idea if he's back to form, but I'd probably start him over Landry.
Yeah, you're starting Crowder over Landry regardless. I don't think they're going to get Sam Darnold back, and frankly, they might not bring him back at all. It might be Flacco for the rest of the season.
Hilarious pick 6, but I actually think he's looked okay.
He is not even. He's so much better than Darnold at this point. He he's aggressively pushing the ball down. He can't do it as well, obviously.
Sam.
But
Sam needs a fresh start, and he'll get one. As a high-end backup somewhere, but
Darnold's only 23, man. He is still super young.
Yeah, he's younger than Joe Burrow.
I think he's had a tough break. That's why I think Trevor Lawrence considers staying in school to avoid the Jets.
But
it's not a
fortunately
good spot.
the Jets are going to clean house. But yeah, Darnold, the thing is I think you can acknowledge both things. Our guy Greg Cosell has watched Darnold and he's like, this guy's a mess. But like, you can also acknowledge that like coming out of college, this was a guy who needed to be coached, and he just hasn't been.
Well, he's
so like,
literally had the stone worst coach possible.
Yeah, like so you acknowledge that yes, he is a mess, but if he was plopped into a different scenario, maybe he wouldn't be. You know, like that. I think that's entirely fair to acknowledge. Nicholas, standard pick 3 running backs from Hunt, Balaj. Drake. I still can't stomach Kalen Balaj. I know he's been putting up numbers, but I can't stomach it. Hunt, Balaj, Drake, Damian Harris, and Gus Edwards. Hunt for sure.
Hunt for sure. I think
Wes says Drake for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Not in that group. You know, what about Edwards? I mean, he's going to get a ton of carries.
You would imagine that Dobbins and Ingram can't play even on Sunday.
Yeah,
tested positive.
They have to sit out. What is it?
It's
2 weeks if they're not showing symptoms, and 21 days if they are.
I think it's 10 days minimum. That's how it works. So they will not play this week. I think Edwards and Hunt are locks, and then you're deciding between Balaj and Drake.
Yeah, because Harris, like, I don't know, Michelle's going to be back because Burkhead's on IR.
And then, Eckler's, he's practicing. Is he going to play this week?
I don't know if he's going to play.
I think Eckler's goal was always week 13.
On this day, as we sit here, I say Drake. I say Drake is my call out of this.
I wouldn't argue against it.
Yeah. AI, Hooper or Landry? It's Hooper. I'm like Jarvis Landry across the board is a bench for me.
Yep. Yeah, you can't put Landry in a lineup right now.
I mean, and plus Jacksonville does not play tight ends very well. So
yeah,
sure.
Jacksonville doesn't play anybody. but yeah. JJ, happy Thanksgiving, JJ. Is Fuller a must start today? Have uncertainty with Thielen, Julio, and Deontay Johnson. With that group, you have to start Will Fuller.
Yeah.
What's the uncertainty with Deontay?
He's going up against the top cornerback statistically this season, at least based off of the percentages on the side of the field of Jimmy Smith. So that's a tough play right there.
Yeah.
And in 3 games in his career against Baltimore, I think he's averaging 6.6 fantasy points.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get a little Marcus Peters though, won't he? Because
he will.
Yeah, Peters is a little bit worse off.
Little bit. He's somewhere in the 30s rank wise, which is not bad, but you know, it's not on the level of Jimmy Smith.
Happy Thanksgiving, all says Jerry. Happy Thanksgiving, Jerry. AI, Zach Moss or Melvin Gordon? Oh boy,
I go Gordon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd go Moss against the Chargers are not that great against running backs this year.
Yeah, it's just like, Gordon, like the 2 weeks ago, nobody produces. That last week they both produce. I just don't trust that offense.
I don't trust the offense, but the thing is like the Bills running backs have just been they've been basically worthless. Like Josh Allen's the goal line back. He's not really checking down all that much. Like at least Gordon gets the check down stuff.
But Moss has gotten 82% rushing share week 9, 64% week 10. He's getting a lot more carries than Singletary, so he's taken over the early downs. And like I said, that the Chargers are 10th ranked against the run this year, or 10th best for running backs. So I think it's Moss. I mean, I hate to argue with you here, but
no, that's what we're here for.
I mean, Moss is a better player.
Moss is absolutely the better player.
RK, happy Thanksgiving, all. Gobble, gobble, turkey. Mikey, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Very thankful for this new site. We are thankful, too, and we're thankful there was an NFL season. As stupid as it might have been, we are very thankful there was an NFL season. Nicholas, standard, 2 running backs and a flex from Balaj, Edwards-Helaire, Dookie, DJ Moore, and Pittman.
2 running backs.
DJ Moore this week.
Yeah.
Do you like Moore this week?
I like Moore.
Okay.
You said 2 running backs and 1 flex?
And 1 flex. So Moore is the flex. Then you need Edwards-Helaire, Dookie, and Balaj. The problem is here's the problem. If Eckler plays and you say Balaj is going to be reduced.
I guess you wait on Edwards-Helaire and Balaj then.
And then so you play Duke.
You just play Duke.
Yeah. Ever since Eckler's gone out.
I think I played DJ Moore over Pittman too. I'm with you on that.
Ever since Eckler went out, every time I put a Chargers running back into a DFS lineup, it's always
Justin
somebody
Jackson
else.
murdered me.
Oh my God,
3
Joe!
weeks ago.
Don't bring that back.
I had such an awesome lineup that day. And
so did I.
and that goose egg.
I mean, you think last week I thought it was Balaj. I had some exposure to him. Oh, guess what? They're going to bring who is it?
Troy Maine Pope.
Yeah, Troy Maine Pope and Joshua Kelly. They're going to give them some of the looks. But Balaj did catch 7 passes.
Yeah, for 27 yards, which is very Kalen Balaj. Very Kalen Balaj.
So, I mean, you're going to get probably a little more volume with Balaj, but I'd probably wait.
Edwards-Helaire looks really good, by the way.
He does.
It's just been a bizarre
He looks
year.
amazing. It's just they don't run the ball, Joe. I mean, they don't
run the ball, and here's the problem. They have Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell. And Darrell Williams is their hurry up back.
Yeah. Reed's been doing some funky stuff with their backs this year.
Yeah, Chiefs 7th highest pass rate this season.
Deezer, roll with A-Rob and Pittman or get carry on in for one of them. Yes, A-Rob and Pittman. That's an easy one for me.
For sure.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Lions don't score a touchdown in this game. John, need 3. McLaurin, Fuller, Deontay. Oh, this is another Dio Nate. McLaurin, nice. Fuller, Dio, Nate, Woods, and Pittman. I have them in that order.
Deontay is one of those. People struggle to spell that one. I've seen it with a U as well, which is always good.
Like Deontay.
Deontay, yeah.
I'd move Deontay to the bottom of that list.
Yeah, I think I could go Woods. I like Woods quite a bit.
Yeah, like what the hell? Like, did the Rams just finally decide? Oh wait, like maybe we should stop this bullshit and just throw the ball to Woods and Cup.
It's 11 personnel. Count on it.
Yeah. Joe, they opened up this season like so damn run heavy. Like I wonder if McVay's just, I don't know. He opened up the season more conservative than I've ever seen him. And finally the last couple weeks, they're starting to throw a little bit more.
And I just traded for Jared Goff and one of my big Debbie's. So it worked out.
Nice.
Nicholas, half PPR, 1 running back and 2 flex. Jonathan Taylor, Mike Davis, Gio Bernard, Kirk, and Myers.
Well, Bernard's probably going to miss this game.
Yeah.
So reduce that. I think you almost
has Mostert, by the way. He also has Mostert. Which my read is he's going to play.
Yeah, he'll play. I mean, when he plays, man, Kyle Shanahan gives him the ball. I mean,
so like I kind of like. Well, first and foremost, Mike Davis. I like.
Yeah, Davis
week.
is in.
Wes, how do you feel about Christian Kirk's matchup?
Well,
I mean, I know Kyler's got the shoulder, but it doesn't appear to be much to worry about.
No, I don't think so. And going up, he's probably going to get a lot of JC Jackson.
Yeah. I
mean, there's a lot of people are going to have to start him, so I get that. But if I can avoid him, I am. I'm staying away from him. I know Myers was really disappointing last week, but I think he's going to have a good game this week against that Arizona slot defense. So
this one is all you, Wes. Top 2 pass catching matchups for today's DFS slate, and is there a matchup to avoid for pass catchers?
Well, Marvin Jones Jr., you want to stay away from that like the plague. And honestly, I'm staying away from all the Cowboys receivers. It's going to be a terrible day for Andy Dalton.
Okay, who do you like though?
Who do I
like? Texans, presume.
Yeah, absolutely, all over them. McLaurin, he's in a smash spot. Let's see. Steven Sims looked pretty good last week. So it's got to be Fuller, Cooks, and McLaurin.
Wes, I wanted to ask you real quick, because Scott and Proctor and I were talking about this on our podcast yesterday. Like, Washington's been really good against slot receivers this year. And Scott was saying that's like a function of their scheme. Like what specifically are they doing to slow down slot guys? Because I still like Cooper in this spot, but I'm with you that Lamb is a kind of a fade here.
Yeah, they have I can't Cole Holcomb. He was a walk-on at North Carolina, and he is one of the top 3 or 4 coverage linebackers in the league. So between him and their strong safety play, they're passing off just at the right times. They're Kevin Pierre Lewis. He's been pretty good, not up to Holcomb, but it's just it really just spells out the coverage IQ of the middle of that secondary. And they're coached really well. You got to think that they've got 2 longtime head coaches coaching that defense. So It's just he's got to be up for, if they can make it to the playoffs. We got to be thinking of Ron Rivera as possibly coach of the year. With those quarterbacks and coming into such a disastrous situation without even a name for your football team. I mean, it's amazing that they're still in the race for the playoffs. And also you got to think, with a cover 3 and a cover 4, it's going to take away the center of the field. You're going to have to force yourself to the outside of the cornerbacks, and you're going to attack those shells on the sidelines. So most of the production is going to come from your outside receivers against Washington.
Man, if they got some good corners, if they get one good corner this offseason, this defense could be really, really sick.
Well, Kendall Fuller's not terrible. He's decent, but he's not up to the level of a shutdown corner or anything like that.
Good stuff, guys. That's really good stuff. We're going to get through some questions, though, because I want to make sure we wrap this up before the game. King Donkey, in a guillotine league, start Duke, McKissick, or pass for Gurley on Sunday. I sure should am not playing Todd Gurley.
Todd
Did you say
Gurley.
PPR?
Let's just assume it is.
Yeah.
And it's McKissick.
Yeah, I'd go McKissick here, too. Yeah. Todd Gurley, over his last, 5 games, is averaging, fewer yards per carry than I am. He is so bad right now, man.
Mikey, Tyler Boyd or McKissick in flex PPR? I like McKissick.
Yep, McKissick for me too.
I can't believe I'm saying that, but
I want to wait a week on Boyd.
Yeah, until to see what the quarterback looks like. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Bob, hey dudes, start Taysom Hill, camshaft, or Carr. This is Taysom for me. I think Taysom's a lock button guy.
Now Carr is in a good spot, but it's Taysom all the way. His ground potential is just puts him really high up the quarterback ranks.
I just look at the fact that when I started Taysom last week, and believe me, I am a charter member of the Taysom Hill hate club. Don't get me wrong, but I look at it and say, shit. I mean, how many games did we have where Tim Tebow went 8 for 21 and still was good for fantasy? And then Hill went 17 to 22.
Way better. He's a way better thrower than Tim Tebow ever was.
Yeah.
And he's not some rookie coming into this role. He's a 30-year-old.
Yeah,
he's been with this coaching staff under Drew Brees, possibly one of the top 5 quarterbacks all time, and he's been learning, for 3 straight years. It's a perfect learning spot for a quarterback with his legs, man. I mean, it's like he's being groomed to becoming a fantasy star.
He looked awesome on those timing routes with Michael Thomas. There was very little downtick in terms of just ball placement, in terms of timing last week. Thomas had a bad drop over the middle too, where he was wide open and Hill put it right on him. Taysom Hill he acquitted himself very well last week. I was impressed.
I just rewatched the game. I did not find one turnover worthy throw from Hill in that game. It was impressive.
Good. Yeah.
Mark, in 1 point PPR, he needs 2 wide receivers out of Julio, Robert Woods, Boyd, and Aguilar. All right, Robert Woods for sure. Obviously, you're playing Julio if he goes. And guys, I got to be honest, I kind of like Aguilar over Boyd given the spot. In the event Julio doesn't play.
Yep. I mean, like I said, the Saints, or I'm sorry, who do the Raiders play? Falcons. Yeah. They're actually a good run defense. So, for a run heavy offense, if their run stalls, they've been, airing it out to Waller, of course, more occasionally, but then Aguilar's essentially become their number 1 receiver while they wait on Ruggs.
Yeah. JJ, are you doing this again on Sunday? We are indeed. We're going to be back normal time on Sunday. Mitts, standard, have Ridley, Cooks, Edwards-Helaire, and Drake. He needs a flex. Do I go Gus Edwards, Pittman, or Aguilar? And do I think about benching Edwards-Helaire against Tampa Bay?
I think you can. I'm benching Edwards-Helaire in a few spots where I have him, just because.
I think you could bench him for Gus Edwards, by the way.
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was going to say is for the middle range RB2s with pretty decent touchdown upside like Edwards and even Kenyon Drake, I think you can.
Do you like Pittman or Aguilar more?
Won't make me pick against my guy Pittman, but I think I like Aguilar a little bit more.
Wow. It's a coin flip, really, for me. We're splitting hairs. You couldn't really.
I'm going to say Pittman just because Aguilar, by the way, Aguilar still is one of the NFL's leaders in drop passes. So.
Oh yeah, he hasn't fixed that problem yet.
No, he's just catching more than he caught last year. But
the spot is so good because everybody everybody that plays the Falcons goes off, and they aren't throwing the ball to Ruggs. Brian Edwards is still way behind. Like, he's really their only receiver that they play on like every single snap. So I like Aguilar quite a bit this week.
Yeah, always bet on volume.
DC, would you drop Hollywood Brown to pick up Kerryon Johnson? Oh my God, can you imagine being asked that question in August? And would you play Kerryon Johnson over Robert Anderson, Robert Woods, Amari Cooper, or Gio? I would play Kerryon over Gio right now because of the concussion. The question is, do you guys prefer Kerryon to Hollywood Brown anyway? And Hollywood is dead right now. Not only is the offense hurting him, but he's also dropping passes.
No, I'm playing Kerryon.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Kerryon it is. So drop Hollywood.
Houston's last in run defense. So.
By the way, Larry Fitzgerald has tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh, no. Nice.
Everybody's getting it this week, man.
Fire up Isabella.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Let's go to. Okay, this is a good. Wes, you're a dynasty devy guy, so this is a good question for you. How much does the uncertainty beyond Ben at quarterback suppress Deontay's value in a keeper dynasty league?
I wouldn't look at that, because for all you know, the Steelers could trade up into the top, 10 or 7 next year and take, somebody that'll change the entire outlook. I'm going to bet on talent 100% of the time. The one team that I do try to avoid as far as their current level of quarterback talent is Denver. They just do not evaluate quarterbacks very well. Looking at their previous guys that they've drafted. So I'm fine with Deontay's value long term.
Guy Aaron, happy Turkey Day, grateful for fantasy points, and we are grateful for you, Guy Aaron. Brandon M says the new puppers, so he must have gotten that in when I was showing Scotchy and Crimpet. They are now out of the room, but they were absolute Looney Tunes in the backyard today. We got a fence put in yesterday, and of course we're down here in South Carolina where we have that red clay. They came in from playing this morning looking like fucking Rafael Nadal. Like, I mean,
Joe, you've never seen that. I hadn't even thought about that. We get the clay in the Carolinas, and get it a little bit in Georgia too, North Georgia. Especially. Yeah,
so I mean, they came in like Rafa. Vamos, Rafa. Pang currently have Gio in an RB spot. Would you put Dookie in? Yes, absolutely. Sure. Backup options are Skanks, Samaje, and Balaj of that nature. I'm going to play Dookie because of the matchup. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, watch everybody play Deshaun Watson and Duke Johnson finally has his first good game of the year. Yeah. That's going to happen.
I mean, it is a great matchup. This is actually a really good question. Guy Aaron, Evan Ingram or Hawkinson PPR? And the Bengals get shredded by tight ends.
They do, but I love Hawkinson here.
All the targets Ingram gets, he hasn't produced. It's like weird.
Yeah.
Well, they're finally using him a little bit differently. Like Jason Garrett figured out he's not Jason Witten and he can actually stretch the field a little bit, but Ingram is not having a good season. That's for sure.
Yeah. I tried to talk myself into Daniel Jones for this week, but I just couldn't do it. He's been better than his numbers, but I'm sorry, the results just aren't there. Yeah. I'm really big on Gallman this week though.
Oh yeah. I like Gallman too. Good call. Yeah.
DC, play Kerryon over Gurley, half point PPR.
I'm sticking with Gurley there.
Yeah, I'll stick with Gurley.
You got to play Gurley. Kerryon might catch a few balls today, though.
Yeah. Berg, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, Berg. One wide receiver and a flex out of Connor, A-Rob, Ridley, and Pittman.
First two. I think you could Connor A-Rob. Wait, is there a running back or a receiver?
Receiver and a flex.
Oh.
A-Rob and Ridley for me.
A-Rob and Ridley, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Taysom Hill or Carr? We already said Taysom Hill. It is a good spot for Carr, but Taysom's rushing upside is too much.
Yeah, his floor is elevated.
Okay, here's what's interesting. Would you trade James Robinson or Swift for Rodgers? My quarterback is Ryan, and obviously if Julio is hurt, Ryan is useless. And my running backs are Cook, Robinson, Swift, Gio, Mixon, Akers, and Madison.
No. I'm not trading.
I don't think
mean,
you can.
I'm picking somebody up off of waivers. I'm not trading for a quarterback.
Like for instance, if like you had Swift and you're like, yeah, but I got these guys on the back. He's like my fourth running back. Then I could see it, but no, I think you become too thin at running back if you.
Yeah, you never, unless you're just loaded at one position, receiver, running back. You never want to trade a quarterback for.
And the thought of trading Robinson for a quarterback, I just threw up a little in my throat.
James Robinson, by the way, I mean, even with the Jaguars sucking, he has been RB1 usage. He hasn't scored as much, which is the problem. But I mean,
that volume, man.
Yeah,
that Jags offense is not. He's not going to score very much down the stretch too, but the role is amazing.
Yeah. AI 12-team waiver guys that you pick up and play over Landry PPR, all of them. All of them. Just go a little waiver wire and start from the top down.
I played Rashard Higgins over Landry.
I would too. Guy Aaron, Allen Robinson, or Michael Pittman. Robinson might catch the Jair shadow, which is
I'm going Pittman there.
Okay.
They'll move A-Rob into the slot.
Yeah, they will.
They'll move him.
I like A-Rob over Pittman but
I have a hard time benching A-Rob.
Well, the thing with Pittman. The thing with Pittman, we don't have, the volume of analytics, but what we do have is a matchup with Tennessee 3 weeks ago, and that was after they acquired Desmond King. So we already know he's done well in that spot. So I think I'm gonna stick with Pittman. I'm not completely out on A-Rob. I'm just not excited about him.
Conkenator, Hunt or McLaurin? Wow, PPR.
I go McLaurin.
I like the spot for McLaurin.
Man, McLaurin, he could score 25 today.
Yeah, he is dinged up, by the way, of course. So
if Hunt still had the number one role, sure. Not sharing with over McLaurin. No way.
All right. In a 1-point PPR, he needs one flex. Does Mark out of Jonathan Taylor, McKissick, or Aguilar?
I think I'd full point. I'd go McKissick.
Yeah, I think McKissick's the play here. John, I see Gaskin on the wire. Who would you cut to Adam, Edwards or Gio?
Well, Gaskin's still on IR. I don't know if they're going to be able to bring him back too.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming Gus and not Brian Edwards.
Gus, yeah,
Gus.
Yeah. You're not cutting Gus Edwards.
No, you could use Gus, and who knows? Like, I mean,
with Burrow going down, I think Gio is going to his days of fantasy usefulness this season are over.
Yeah.
I'm dropping him.
Yeah. Nicholas, Houston, Denver, Cincinnati, or Minnesota D? I mean,
Houston, Denver, Cincinnati.
Denver plays the Saints, so I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No. Houston plays the Lions. Cincinnati plays the
all the way.
Houston all the way for me. Yeah.
Houston. Yep.
King Donkey, I have a GPP on a site where this Baltimore Pitt game is still counted in this slate. I was hoping like all the slates would do that.
No, me too. I was really hoping DraftKings would do it too, but they can't give up another opportunity to rake.
Fanball's doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
They removed the Pittsburgh from the main slate.
No. They moved it from the Thursday slate.
Oh, okay. Man, you just sunk my heart. Okay.
Yeah. No.
No, they moved into the Sunday slate.
Yeah, this is Fanball's doing this. Playing Lamar, but what Houston player do you think best leverages my Watson fade? It would be Duke Johnson for me.
Duke Johnson, absolutely.
Like, yeah, that's the low probability play, but when you're fading Deshaun Watson, who's the high probability play, you have to play the low probability play, right?
Yeah. Right. I mean, if just play it down in your head, if what's the path for Deshaun Watson to fail, and that would be Duke Johnson scoring 2 touchdowns. Yeah. So he's their only other option as well. I mean, there's no other leverage here.
Guy Aaron, is it crazy to play Kiki Kuti over Bernard or Pirine? PPR? No, it is not.
No,
nope,
not at all.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Kuti scored a touchdown last week. He should have plenty of routes today. So.
Yeah, and they give up a lot of production out of the slot, and again they're down multiple corners. So, trademark of me, Fant or Schultz. Let's get that gobbler.
Get that gobbler. I'm going Schultz here. I kind of like Schultz a little bit this week.
Okay, he has had I think at least 19% target share 4 weeks in a row, but man, it's tough. I guess I'll go Fant, but I'm not against Schultz either.
Brawley's whiteboard. Did Tom leave me with any of you, or should we all just make another Bloody Mary and enjoy the holiday? Drink up, Brawley's whiteboard. We don't have the whiteboard. Tom went to see his mom, so that's
Tom forgot to FedEx us his whiteboard there, but he can FedEx us some Bloody Marys. Bloody Mary sounds amazing right now.
Scott, need one in a PPR of Deontay, Taylor, Ayuk, Gallman, or Evans.
Gallman.
Wow.
Gallman.
Yeah,
Gallman. Yeah.
I think it's Gallman too.
They're gonna look what
Ayuk's still on
Washington
the
did.
COVID list too.
Well, look what Washington did last year when last game when Burrow went down. I mean, they didn't even have to pass the ball anymore.
Yeah.
They just fed it to their running backs and just ran all over that defense.
Yeah, Wayne Gallman's finally doing I thought he'd be when he came out of Clemson, I thought he'd be the quintessential backup running back.
Just get Alfred Morris off the field.
What the hell?
Yeah. Jason Garrett loves him, man. That's been Garrett's guy.
I just thought he might have been just the quintessential backup. He's kind of solid at everything but good at nothing. Just
he's not been terrible, but Gallman's been so much better.
Yeah.
If Big Ben can't go, Bruce says, who would you pick up, Tannehill or Daniel Jones?
Is Big Ben in danger of missing that game?
I think it's just COVID.
And it's just tracing, correct? So
yeah.
I don't think you even need to make that choice. But I'm surprised Tannehill's a free agent. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Jones has the matchup this week.
Yeah,
but I can't talk myself into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and long-term, Tannehill, that schedule starts to open up again. They had a really easy opening schedule, and then this middle of the season's been pretty brutal for them.
Brutal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott's got a question right now that has a McChicken, a grilled chicken wrap, a side salad from McDonald's, and then a Big Mac. Okay. Need one flex play. Ahmed, Woods, Higgins, or Edmonds?
Woods all the way.
Woods all the way.
Yeah.
Hurst or Goddard for tight end? That's Goddard. Although I am a little concerned that Seattle might put Jamal Adams on Goddard, but they do move him around.
Well, it doesn't matter because Hurst is he hurt his ankle last week.
Yeah, he's
immediately left the field, was in a lot of pain. He toughed it out and came back, but he's not been practicing. I bet you he's going to play at 60% at best.
Yeah.
Need 2 of 4 running backs. Gibson, Taylor, Damian Harris, and Gallman, says Scott. This is Gibson and Gallman for me.
Gibson and Gallman, yeah.
Absolutely.
Trademark of me. Gordon, Rager, Chark, or Bernard, PPR, if Bernard's not concussed. This one's Chark to me. Presuming he plays.
If he plays, yeah. And then I guess Gordon.
Yeah. Bill, or do you like Rager with the matchup, or do you just not trust the Eagles right now?
I don't trust the Eagles, man.
Yeah.
You can't play any Eagles with any confidence right now besides Sanders.
I mean, even against the worst or the most generous passing defense in league history, I'm struggling to play Eagles receivers.
Yeah, Peterson's going to come out and run the triple option this week. That's what's Bill, PPR, pick one of Drake, Edmonds, Allaire, or Ahmed. Wes is a Drake guy this week.
More the matchup. I think look at what the Patriots have given up this season.
Man, that Patriots defense is kind of falling apart.
Yeah, it really has, unfortunately.
Cam gets a lot of, the blame for how bad the offense has been, and a little bit's deserving. They don't have any receivers, but really the bigger problem for the Patriots right now is that defense is just they're not very good. They're not stopping the pass, and they can't stop the run at all. They play some of the most man coverage in the league, and the problem is they're especially Gilmore great at jamming receivers at the line of scrimmage. In order to really benefit from that, you need to get your pass rushers at the quarterback. They're not doing that, so they're jamming the receivers, but it's not making a difference. They're just they're getting by, and then they can do their thing. So until they get a pass rush going, that defense is not going to play any better.
Steve, carry on or AP? PPR, carry on, I guess. Ugh.
Yeah, carry on just because he might catch a couple balls. That's pretty gross.
You're in a tough spot, buddy. I feel sorry for you.
Joe's Twitter recipes. I'll be posting my chili later. Play Rager over Woods. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Absolutely not.
No.
I'm surprised at these Woods questions.
Yeah. I mean, after last week, and they seem to have figured out to stop running the ball. I don't know. Thoughts on McKissick versus JT Moss or Ahmed? Thanks in advance, KP says. I'd like McKissick over all of them. Non-PPR, though. Non-PPR.
Non-PPR. That changes things. Maybe Taylor?
Yeah, I think I might go Taylor in that
If it's non-PPR, definitely Taylor.
Oh, man, I got my hair sticking out of the front of my hat. Look at that. I just fixed it. Wentz or Tannehill, JJ? I'd probably just go Tannehill. I know.
Yeah.
Wentz has like actually put up numbers, like, but it's just it's hard. Brandon M. Joe Dolan, the founder of the Taysom Hill Hate Club. Brandon M. Vice president of said club. If Taysom Hill gets me my second consecutive flex championship belt, I will resign from the Taysom Hill Hate Club presidency. By the way,
You got to do it.
I'll be like Richard Nixon.
You know, one thing about the Colts that's in favor of Tennessee this week isn't Buckner on the actual COVID list? Like he tested positive.
I thought did he test positive?
Who, DeForest Buckner?
Was he just a contact?
Okay, if he tested positive, that is gonna be a blow up spot for Derrick Henry this week.
Yeah.
If not, then never mind.
Yeah. I don't know if he tested positive. They just put him on the list.
Yeah, I don't see a positive test.
Maybe that's what it was.
Carry on B Woods or R Anderson, standing score. I think that's Bob Woods and it's Robert Woods. Like, yeah, it's
Bobby Trees.
Bobby Trees. Yep.
KP, non-PPR league, Jacoby Myers or DJ Moore. This all depends on whether Debo is active or not. I'd say DJ Moore.
Yeah. Wes likes DJ Moore too.
Yeah, I like Myers too, but not over DJ Moore. Especially Bridgewater. He's back practicing in full. So
Nicholas, sorry guys, forgot I already start standards on one of my formats. So here's the correct one running back in a flex standard of Balaj, Edwards-Helaire, Duke Johnson, DJ Moore, and Pittman.
I'd go.
It's standard.
It's standard.
So I'd probably go Edwards-Helaire and Moore for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue.
I think I agree with you there.
Okay. Guy Aaron, Steelers defense or Giants defense? Giants against the Bengals, Steelers against.
I think I like the Giants.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark, in a half PPR, need a running back and a flex out of Mike Davis, Wayne Gallman, Allen Robinson, Justin Jefferson, and Chance Claypool.
Chase Claypool did a little name change there.
I do like Claypool this week. He scored a touchdown against the Ravens 2 weeks ago or a few weeks ago.
I think it's Jefferson and Davis for me, but it's really, really tough.
Brutal. Yeah, Jefferson and Davis for me. Ugh. Thank you and happy holidays, Mark says. Happy holidays, Mark. Brandon, Rager over Landry in a PPR. That break the don't play Philly pass catchers rule? Yes, it does. I'd play Rager over Jarvis Landry.
100%.
100%. Brady or Taysom? I'd play Taysom.
Taysom. There's unless you've got Allen or Kyler Murray or any of the elite guys, like you're pretty much playing Taysom this week.
Yeah. With a healthy Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Huge draw. Wentz or Stafford? Definitely Wentz for me.
Yeah, you can't play Stafford this week. No.
It's not Stafford's fault, but yeah, Wentz.
I mean, yeah, Wentz has the matchup and has more weapons, believe it or not.
Or has a weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weapon. Brandon.
Well, Hawk, you know.
Yeah.
Already a nuke owner. At Isabella drop Bird with the Fitz positive test.
Run and do it.
Yeah. The Jameer Bird thing, I'm not really sure how sustainable that is.
So the thing about Bird with Houston, the outside receiver opposite the Roby Shadow usually does well. That's why Bird had a good game. Don't overthink it.
To trademark me, any scenario you are benching Kamara, Gallman, JT,
no, you can't do that.
No way.
No. Definitely not doing that. No, I mean, I know the pass catches are going to be down, but I can't do that. Bruce, half point PPR. We're going to wrap it up on this one, and it's an easy one for me. Ingram or Hurst? Thanks.
You're going Ingram.
You have to go Ingram with this matchup.
You're going
when
Ingram
Hurst
here.
dinged up, as Wes was talking about. Guys, this was like 70 minutes. I can't believe we did that, but I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving live stream. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Have a great rest of your weekend. If you need more questions, we're going to be back with the regular crew. Tom Brawley will be back with us on Sunday for the Final Points live stream. Thank you everybody so much. Have a great Thanksgiving and enjoy the games today.